Hello, welcome to the Arsenal Agenda pre-game show. Today we're going to be talking about the game on Friday night, 8 p.m, Southampton versus Arsenal. Obviously, in my opinion, as an Arsenal fan, it's a big game for Arsenal. Massive game, biggest game of the season so far. Arsenal obviously need to forget about City on Wednesday. Obviously, what happened in the run-up to the last City game, we had a loss against Everton, then a draw against Brentford. So we tend to get panicked when we run up into games against City. Let's hope we can, get our focus, get 3 points. I mean, I know it's getting boring, but they really need to just concentrate on the game coming up, get the 3 points. Otherwise, the game on Wednesday really has no meaning. But what's your thoughts on the game coming up, George?
100%. Tomorrow night, tonight, Friday night, it's a cup final, isn't it? Or semi-final, if you like. We've got to get through the semi-final to be in the final on Wednesday night. That's how I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
We can't overlook this. Anything less than a win, I think it's gone. That's it. Forget it. But I think if we win, they're not playing in the league this weekend, are they? They've got the semi-final. So I think if we win, we'll go 7 points clear. It proper puts it on them to go and beat us. And, if we go to the Etihad and we just set ourselves up to not lose, do you know what I mean? Like, anything could happen.
Yeah, kind of like what Newcastle did to us at the Emirates. Obviously, they literally sunk in and was very happy with the draw in the end of that game. So we need to think about doing the same thing on Wednesday. But before we even think about Wednesday, as I was saying, it will be inconsequential if we don't get the points.
Exactly. We got to get a win tonight, because this is the semi-final, if you like, because we've got to keep this to get in, to be in there at the final, And Wednesday night, whatever happens, I know there's still games to play after, but Wednesday night could be the final.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's essentially double points game. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, I personally, I'm pretty confident. I'd like to think that we're gonna do well in this game. I mean, I would like a 3-4 goals for us. Hopefully, concede nothing, but 3 or 4-1, I'll certainly take. But yeah, look, Southampton are absolutely fighting for their lives down there at the bottom of the table, and I don't think they're going to be, completely easy points. I think we could be foolish if we be foolish and give away a load of free kicks in key areas, because obviously they do have an absolute machine in Ward-Prowse that can obviously deliver the goods and score the goals from those sorts of situations. So it's not an easy game, as easy as most people would probably think, saying top versus bottom. But
we drew with them at their home stadium. I know they're coming to the Emirates now. It should be a different story, but we drew with them earlier on in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that remember, this was the team that knocked City out the League Cup. It's one of them. We're at home. I know we're on the back of 2 draws, but we really do need a confidence boosting.
It's about mentality now. It's not a question of quality. I think if you look over the pitch, we trump them for quality. We should go and win this. Quality-wise, we have the potential to go and win this game 5-0, 6-0. But it's about mentality now, and it's how they pick themselves up. It's how they're feeling mentally after letting the 2-0 slips. Twice, 2-0 up, and we let it go twice now. So It's about how they're going to cope with that.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's not been fun to watch the last 2 games. It's been painstaking, and yeah, almost if we went 2-0 up on Friday, we'd almost get nervous, wouldn't we?
You almost get the feeling that it's not a lack of confidence, maybe more overconfidence, that we're steaming games in half an hour and then taking our foot off the gas and letting them go.
Yeah. There's probably something to be said about that. Definitely. Well, going on to the team news, obviously Arteta had a discussion today, gave his interview, and talked about a few players. Certainly made it clear that Saliba's an absolute no-go for this one. I think that Arteta is going to stick very, very similarly with the teams that he's been picking lately. So starting from the back, I think he's going to start obviously with Ramsdale in goal, Ben White right back, the new partnership in Gabriel and Holding at centre back. Left back's a little bit of a questionable one. Obviously, Tierney started last game, but he seemed to speak a little bit more positively about Zinchenko, whether there is a small possibility that he could be fit. But yeah, probably either of those two, depending on Zinchenko's fitness. I think if Zinchenko's fit, he'll obviously get in there. In midfield, I think it'll be the normal three. I don't think he'll change it up. I think we'll have Xhaka, Odegaard, and Partey in there as well as the
I
middle.
don't think it's changed too much going into the Southampton game, but we might need a couple of changes come Wednesday night.
Yeah, and then obviously up top, as I was saying, with Martinelli, Saka, and I think Jesus will get the start again this time. I mean, do you see anything different to that?
No, not this weekend. I think it looks like Zinchenko's still going to be out. He's a doubt because it's muscular. Arteta said on Thursday. Saliba, forget that. He's not going to be back. So I think it will pretty much be the same team that give us a draw against West Ham.
Yeah. I mean, going back to Saliba, obviously you mentioned him. Then did you get that sort of suspicion when he was speaking about him that we may not see him again this season?
I don't know if he's just trying to keep his cards close to his chest, sort of thing. Because he's done it with Jesus before, hasn't he? Like he said, "Oh no, he's nowhere near ready," and then all of a sudden he was ready. But I don't know. It doesn't sound good. I don't think he'll be back for the City game. But I can see him playing before the end of the season. He said something along the lines of, he's just not progressing with the injury like they thought he would. So it's probably just going to put he miss an extra couple of games than what they maybe expected. But I'd like to think he'll be back before the end of the season. 100%. We need him.
Yeah. I mean, and by all accounts,
that's not a put down on Holding. I just don't think Gabriel looks as confident without Saliba.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. But yeah, no. Anything else before we obviously finish today, George? Anything else to add to the podcast?
Yeah, I suppose I should give you a little match prediction.
Go on.
I think we got to go for the dub, man. I think we've got to go and smash these people. 3-1.
3-1.
I mean, we keep leaking goals, so I'll give them the goal. But yeah, 3-1.
I mean,
what we think for first goal scorer? I mean, Jesus keeps scoring, doesn't he? So we go for the Son of God as first goal scorer, I suppose.
Well, just to be different to you, I said 3 or 4, didn't I? And I'll go for. I'm going to go real confident. Go 4-0 with a Martinelli's first opening goal. I think Martinelli will get a goal, and I think you'll get to even predict even more. I think I can see Saka getting a couple after missing that penalty. I think he's going to be real hungry for a couple of goals. Couple of goals on Friday. So yeah, no, I'm very confident that we will come away with that. I hope it will be a strong win for Arsenal. But
I'd rather Saka's story gets written Wednesday night. His redemption story can be written Wednesday night.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I want them all firing at the moment because if we're going to beat City, we need a team that's all going. And yeah, obviously that includes Holding at the moment, and hopefully he can step it up on Wednesday night if we need to call upon him again. After hearing Arteta talking today, I'm a little less hopeful now that we'll see him as soon as Wednesday night, and that could be a key factor. Haaland against Holding is
That's why I say I wouldn't change too much this weekend, but I think going in, providing we get the dub, I would change it up against City. I'd be very unpredictable. Maybe even bring Jorginho in for Xhaka just to take the pace out of the game a bit.
What are you thinking? 3 at the back?
Oh, I mean that ain't a bad shout. I mean Brighton play 3 at the back, and they seem to put it on teams and steam them. So why not? But then no, because we've got to set ourselves up not to lose. I'd maybe go 5 at the back if possible.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Well, anyways, this is obviously about Friday night's game. So let's hope we get another win and start to put that pressure back on City. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thanks for your time, George. If you can all like and subscribe below. Thank you all.